NBA 2K18 tutorial number 54. Today we're going to talk about some fancy dribble moves. So I will be showing you guys how to do the step back jumper properly on 2K18. There is actually a correct way to trigger this animation that not a lot of people do, because by the controls manual, 2K actually don't teach how to trigger this animation like you see here properly. So I will be showing you 4 different types of step back jumpers that is available to you in the game, and you can chain them, use them as any way you see fit really. So there's going to be a hezzy version, a cross version, a double cross version, and a spin version, all of them leading for you into step back jumpers. So like I said earlier, how you chain them and how you put all these moves together is up to you. You can honestly get very creative with this. So without further delay, let's get right into it and see how to do this properly. So like I said, 2K actually don't teach you the useful version when it comes to how to trigger the step back animation. So if you go to the control menu, this is how you do it. You want to hold turbo R2 and move the right stick away from the hoop, then quickly release the stick. So essentially you're holding R2 and flicking the RS away from the basket. And if you do so, you can see here that is the step back animation. You can see me do it again and again here with the on waiters. And to do a step back jumper, obviously you would just trigger the animation and hold square or hold down the right stick to shoot again. But that is not right, because if you look at it closely, look at how Dion, before he takes the jumper, he puts the ball back down around his knee close to the thigh. So an extra unnecessary dribble. This delays the amount of time the shot comes. It's a small delay, but there is a delay. Now watch how I do a step back jumper. You see that right there? Let's take a look at that closely again. You can see my Dion Waiters does not bring the ball back down. He keeps it in the shooting pocket and he shoots it right away following the step back animation. This is much faster, a lot smoother, and easier to time. This is because they teach it wrong on the controls. You don't want to quickly release it. If you want to take a step back jumper, you want to hold turbo and push the right stick away from the basket and hold it. Don't flick it. So if you hold turbo and you hold the right stick away from the basket, you'll get a step back jumper that is a lot faster. So you see here, I'm holding turbo and holding the right stick back towards the ball hand side. So this is what I consider a hezzy escape step back jumper. So I'm pushing the right stick towards the ball as I shoot it. So either at 3 o'clock if the ball is on the right hand, or 4 o'clock depending on which angle I want, or if the ball is on the left hand, I will pushing the right stick at 9 o'clock or 7 o'clock, alright? So what you see here is camera relative. So essentially I am pushing the right stick away from the basket, but at the same side of the ball. So if the ball is on the right hand before I shoot it, I'm holding turbo and I'm pushing the right stick right. If it's on the left hand, left side. And obviously, dunk it if you open. Now, here you can see me hold turbo and push the right stick back, same thing, but this time to the opposite side of the ball. So this will trigger what you can see here, and this is a cross step back jumper. So you can see my Dion with cross puts it between the legs and he shoots it. So to do this, also very easy. All you're gonna do is hold turbo and hold the right stick to the opposite side of the ball. So the ball, left-hander would push the right stick to the right side. You see, puts it between his legs, steps back, and he shoots the J. Same thing here, ball on the left side, push it to the right side, and it's a cross jumper into a pull-up. So if you push it to either 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock on the right stick, depending on where it's on the ball hand, you'll do a sideways kind of step. You step sideways and shoot it like you see there. But if you push it away from the basket, either at 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you'll step back. And here you see what I'm doing here. This is what I consider a cross step back jumper. So essentially what I'm doing is, like I taught you guys in the other tutorial, I'm tapping L2, because you guys know this year, if you tap L2 as you're dribbling, you switch ball hands. So I'm tapping L2 before I trigger a step back jumper animation, and this will give me extra movement and more separation. Now you see me tap L2 and then push the stick to the opposite side. So if I push the right stick to the opposite side while tapping turbo after L2, I will do a cross step back jumper. But if I push the right stick after I tap L2 to the same side of the ball, I will get a cross hezzy jumper. So you see, tap L2, hold right stick, and this time is a layup because I'm deep into the paint. So in this case, what you can also do is double tap L2 and then do a right stick jumper by holding turbo and the right stick on either left or right side depending on what you're on. Ball hand or non-ball hand, doesn't matter. But the key, you see what I'm doing here is I'm double tapping L2 instead of tapping it once. So if I tap it once, I get a cross. But if I double tap L2 while dribbling, see, I get a spin and I'm pushing the right stick to the same side as the ball hand that gives me a spin hezzy step back jumper. So watch, double tap L2, hold the right stick to the ball hand, which is the left side this time, and I get the spin hezzy jumper. Same thing, double tap L2, push it to the right stick to the right this time, same size as the ball, and I get a step back hezzy jumper again. So obviously, I'm not gonna hit all of these because these are step back jumpers. That was a spin cross step back jumper. This is not all like the most efficient shot in the game, but it will get you a clean look. So on online and my park, this is very deadly. Also, if you're playing and shot clock is winding down and you need to create for a shot, like if you double tap L2, hold turbo, push the right stick to either ball hand or non-ball hand. This time we're pushing it to the ball hand. You see that separation I got out of the spin? Very hard to defend and guarantee will get you space. So this one is just a step back jumper. So you can still do the original flick step back dribble if you want. So I'm holding R2, flicking the right stick away from the basket, then I continue to hold R2 and hold the right stick to trigger the step back J again. So you see, step back animation, hold the right stick back, and I get a step back, cross step back, or a hezzy step back jumper. So step back animation with the flick. This time I'm holding it, and that's a swish ball. So you want to practice this, obviously, as you see here me with Dion in the freestyle mode, and you just want to do this as many as you want, and you can alternate and mix everything up. Trigger, be creative, trigger as many kind of different step back as you want. You're really only limited by the shot clock and your swag commitment. Like, how swaggy do you want to be while doing this? Like, I mean, how many crosses do you want to do before you step back? That's up to you. The ball size step back, so pushing the right stick, holding turbo at the same side as the ball, is faster, while the cross step back, which is the one where you're holding turbo and pushing the right stick onto the opposite side of the ball, creates more space but is slower. Now the overall percentage isn't going to be great. As you see in these clips where I barely edit it, you can see I'm hitting about maybe 55, 50 to 60% of my shots. So it's not the end of the world. It's a viable move, but can you rely on it whole game? Probably not. But like I said, go to the freestyle move and work on this a lot. Pick a player you know you would do this with. Pick someone who's good at pull-up jumpers, or if you're doing my park and stuff, find a release and player you like and practice tons and get this timing down. The key is to hold turbo and hold the right stick. No flicking, hold turbo, hold right stick, and you will be able to trigger any step back anytime you want. Overall, yes, it's gonna be essentially when you first begin to practice, it's gonna feel like Brick City. It's a good move, but it really is a gamble as you take this shot either in-game or online or anything like that. It's not a primary option at all, but it is good. It's a good bailout option. It's definitely a tool you should have, because you can see me here, I'm being very creative and creating space, but you gotta use this accordingly. You cannot go into a game and the game plan is to only do this. I mean, if it's my park, fair enough, but if it's any kind of game mode, no, this is a bailout and isolation tactic if you want to burn clock or something. Now in an online setting, this is actually much more powerful than it seems because of lag. So if the other user is defending you on ball and you trigger any of these hold turbo, hold right stick to create a step back jumper animation, it's very powerful. Because of the latency and lag, this will give you a lot of space. So I will be showing you guys some play now online footage and also my park footage of this later in the week as I take this online and show it to you guys. I just want to show you guys what this looks like in freestyle because I want you to make sure you practice it first. Because I don't know how many of you know this. Let me know in the comment section how many of you already knew this. Like if you actually hold turbo and hold the right stick instead of flicking it, you would just step back and shoot right away with no delay. So let me know if you already knew this. I will start playing my park with you guys also starting in December. So please leave your PSN tag in the comment section and what position you like to play. I would love to play with, subscribers in my park because I don't like playing with randoms. I've probably played maybe like 10 games with randoms in my park and it's just not fun. It's kind of stressful. It's not very team basketball. I don't like it. But if you guys want to play with me in my park, just leave your PSN tag and what park position you play, and I'll add you guys and I will meet you in my park and we can take, our style of basketball, teamwork, and, beat people in my park. And there's also going to be a channel update. Every tutorial you see now is numbered correctly in the title. So if you look at the end of the title, it is also numbered now. I'm sorry I didn't do this earlier because I just kind of forgot about it and it takes a long time to go back and change like 54 titles. But I did that the other night and I did. So they will all be numbered correctly, but as always, you can always go to the all tutorial playlist and just check it out there because it's always in order. I do suggest you watch them in order because what you're really seeing from that all tutorial playlist is my journey of 2K18, or like me discovering new tactics and me learning. I teach you guys everything I know. So as I learn new stuff, I make tutorials. Well, you guys are probably 1 week behind because I don't make videos that fast, but essentially I'm teaching you everything I know. And if you do watch it in order, it makes sense because that's how I improve on 2K2 by making videos for you guys. So check out the playlist, and yes, the titles are numbered correctly now, so you can follow that. I refer to a tutorial in any of my other videos. So as always, thanks for coming by. Lots of my team tutorials coming this weekend. And yep, I will see all of you next time.